What's going on, guys? Today's video, we are going to be talking about the replacement of the Hellcat engine for Dodge, what I think is going to happen, and some news that I actually missed while I was at SEMA. So I'm excited to share it with you guys. Let's get started. So if you guys are new to the channel, we definitely like our Hellcats and our Hellcat swaps. We've got the Ram here. We've got the Dodge Dakota RT with the Hellcat swap, but let's talk about what's going to happen with these Hellcats. So here we go, guys. Everybody's familiar with this, the Dodge Charger, Banshee. It's got a bunch of names, SRT, Banshee, Daytona, but this is their full EV, and a lot of us were left, including myself, to believe that this was going to be the Hellcat replacement and not much else. But I'm kind of excited to discover and reveal with you guys what information we're finding. And right now it's just a discussion. There's not any clear indication, but they've given us some pretty good clues. So here's what the Hurricane engine itself looks like. It's going to be an inline 6. It's going to be a twin turbo for the standard and the high output versions. The standard version, they're rating at 420 horsepower, and the high output, I've seen a few different numbers between 520 and 550 horsepower. The difference is going to be forged pistons on the high output version, along with some differences on the intercooler and the charge piping, and some other differences that are going to allow for more horsepower on the high output version. So interestingly enough, they've talked about putting this engine into the new Rams, as well as the Jeeps and some other vehicles as well, but we haven't heard too much about the car stuff, and this is where I think we're really going to see some news dropping pretty soon on this, and what combinations are going to be showing up in, whether it's the high output versions in Chargers, Challengers, and if it's going to be included with any EV or hybrid as well. So here's the document that Stellantis or Daimler Chrysler released, but didn't really talk about or announce, or at least make it public as much as I think they could have. So obviously this engine is called a Hurricane, so along with that they called it Category 1, Category 3, and Category X for Hurricanes. So Category 1, you can see here up to 420 horsepower. It's a 3-liter twin turbo. You can see the boost levels here, 22 PSI. Then it goes on to move on to the Category 3 Hurricane. So they seem to skip Category 2, but it says up to 550 horsepower, still a 3-liter twin turbo, but the boost level is higher. You can see here 26 PSI, still premium fuel, but there is going to be those changes that we talked about. So more than likely it is going to have a lower compression, some forged internals, some different intercooler changes for the higher PSI, higher horsepower, higher boost levels. And then we get on to the hurricrate Category X. So this one here, as you can see here, target horsepower mid 1000s. So think along the lines, you guys, of Elephant territory. So obviously, probably more than likely, the torque levels are going to be lower than maybe a V8. But regardless, two JZ Supras are flying at the tracks with turbocharged inline 6 engines. So I think we're going to be in good hands. The other interesting thing here is it does say that this is the next generation drag pack. Also, you can see here aluminum race block and head. And the interesting part is it says turbo. You'll notice the other two, Category 1 and the Category 3, they only say twin turbo. So they're very specific with their words here. And the Category X only says turbo. But also interestingly, you'll see after that it says power cell. What could a power cell be? So is this some sort of hybrid? That's what's raising a lot of questions amongst enthusiasts. What is a power cell, and why is it only saying turbo and not twin turbo on the Category X version from Mopar? So let me know what you guys think of this information. Like I said, I was at SEMA. I didn't even hear about it, see it. I didn't hear any special announcements, but it is very interesting. I originally thought that there was only going to be the EV replacement Charger that they came out with and announced. I thought all the Hellcat stuff was going to go away, but it is interesting to see that they are releasing a 1000 horsepower engine, maybe with a single turbo, and you can kind of think along the lines of the BMW stuff, 2JZ, all those kinds of things that make a ton of power. So if you had one of those motors combined with some sort of hybrid electric, I think it's going to be just as fast. And if they're rating it at 1000 horsepower, I think that kind of explains itself. If you guys are still stuck on the Hellcat stuff, check out our channel. We got a bunch of Hellcat stuff here and a lot more on the way. But I'd like to hear your opinion down below in the comments. What do you think is going to happen? What do you think the future holds for Mopar lovers? And we'll see you guys on the next video.